Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Elon Pressman, and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co host.
Nicholas Pasco. Every week, we'll make sure you're caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week we're reviewing Predator Badlands, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, what's poppin'? Where we run through the biggest movie stories this week. So hope everyone's having a great week, and I'm very excited for this episode. Let's start with the box office. At number one this week was Predator Badlands. It opened with $40 million domestically, 80 million global, on a budget of $105 million. So it's not even that high of a budget for that film. Um, I want to note that it's the biggest Predator opening ever, and also the film received the best franchise's cinema score of an A minus. So pretty good for that movie.
Yeah.
Um, in second place was Regretting You. In its third week, it fell only 9%, $7.1 million domestically this weekend. It's at $70.9 million global on a $30 million budget. Um, this movie, I mean, Mason Thames is just killing it. His two movies. The third one is Black Phone 2. I'll just say that. In its fourth week,
hmm
it dropped 36%. So Mason Thames is just killing it right now at the box office. His movies are continuing to do well and well, and a 9% drop is really rare, especially in the third week. Um, so people are still watching the movie, and Black Phone is on digital at this point, so people are just choosing
Oh,
to
really?
watch it in theaters. Yeah, people are just willingly watching it in theaters, so I think that's really cool. Um, there's nothing really else too interesting on the office this week. There's a few other new openings for some smaller movies like Sarah's Oil and Nuremberg. Nothing too crazy on those two. And then the new Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson movie, Die My Love, also opened. It
Mm.
opened at 8th with a D plus cinema score, which isn't good. This weekend
D plus is
was,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, I might be seeing that today, so I'll see. The
I'm
weekend
gonna
pulled
watch
in
it at some
80,
point this week.
yeah, The weekend pulled in $83 million domestically, which is up 17% from this weekend last year. Um, I do want to note that the Sydney Sweeney Christie biopic didn't even go into the top 10. It only opened with $1.3 million on 2,000 plus screens. On average, per theater, it only made $649, which makes it the worst wide release of all time, or one of the worst wide releases of all time, which is pretty
Yeah, I heard it was
funny.
like I heard it was like one of the worst wide releases, like you said, of like the 2000s, and like
Yeah. It's definitely the worst
that's
of the
crazy, man.
2000s, and it's one of the worst of all
hmm
time.
Yeah, man, that's insane. I mean, she didn't also help her own case. You know what I mean?
At
I don't know if
all,
you saw that interview. I
yeah.
didn't
I
watch the
mean,
interview, but I just saw the clip of it.
yeah, she's getting herself into way too many controversies. Um, and this is like a movie about like a lesbian boxer, and
hmm
so a lot of her like Republican fans are probably gonna be interested in a movie like this. So you don't want to alienate your fans and your audience,
Yeah,
just
and like the
because.
worst thing about it too is like she's just not she's not bad or anything, at least from what I've seen, and I haven't watched this movie so I don't know. But she's not like the greatest actress either. So like she doesn't have, I guess, like the skill to really like be like, "Oh, I don't give a fuck. Like fuck whatever people say. I'm a Republican and that doesn't matter anymore." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, this is her third like big box office bomb of the year.
Mhm.
She also had Eden open, and what was the other one? I think the Americana was the name. All three of
Oh,
those
yeah, something
movies
like that.
bombed. She has another movie with Amanda Seyfried. I don't know when that drops. I think it's later this year, so we'll see how that one does. But I don't know. I think Hollywood's gonna be rethinking Sydney Sweeney after this year and just the way everything's been playing out. Um, that kind of brings us to the end of the box office. We have some news to talk about. Nothing crazy. A lot of it's just like movie announcements and show stuff. Um, this first thing I want to talk about was announced yesterday. After Superman dropped in July, it was rumored that there was a Jimmy Olsen series in the works, and now it was officially confirmed yesterday, titled DC Crime. Essentially, it is a fictional show. Obviously, it's not real, but in the context of the show, it's like a real life, like news, like reporter, like tracking down crime TV show led by Jimmy Olsen. And it's going to be about reporters tackling cases involving superpowered villains. And the first season will be introducing Gorilla Grodd. So I think that's really interesting and a very strange place to take the DCU. But
Mm-hmm.
also, I have a feeling that this is where Darkseid is going to get introduced, just because I don't know if you know, but Darkseid premiered in a Jimmy Olsen comic, and
Really,
so
I
they,
actually did not know that. That's crazy.
yeah. So my guess is that this is gonna tie into the Salvation plot line with having metahumans being going missing or whatever, and he's gonna be investigating or something like that. I don't know. I really like
Mm-hmm.
Skylar Giasondo or whatever his name is as Jimmy Olsen
Yeah.
in that movie. So I'm honestly looking forward to this, just because I know, just the concept on face value doesn't sound the most interesting, but Jimmy Olsen is Superman's best friend, best pal, right? So I
Right.
think it's gonna do a lot to build out the Superman world, and like give us context to a lot of the Daily Planet stuff. I'll assume we'll be seeing Superman in this, Lois Lane, and all of the Daily Planet crew from that movie. What do you think about this
For
show? Are you looking forward to this?
for sure, it looks cool. I mean, it sounds cool. I'm more excited about like to see all the like the different weird characters that or the weird villains that they could put.
Mm-hmm.
Condiment King on top, bro. We're gonna see that motherfucker in this show. I'm almost
Ooh, yeah,
positive
that'd be
about that.
awesome.
I think it's really cool that Gorilla Grodd. I also really like Gorilla Grodd as like a villain in general, as a Flash villain. Um, I think having him kind of like, well, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming is they're gonna have him like lead, be like the overarching villain in at least the first season. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. I also like Skylar Giasondo, so yeah, sure, give him a show. Why not? I remember when they first announced it, or when they were first like thinking about it, I was like, I don't know if he could really like hold up his own show like that, be like charismatic enough, and like also it be interesting enough. Um, but kind of focusing more on the crime aspect of it, I guess, and like all the different characters and like monster of the week type style. I think that could be
Yeah,
really cool.
I love the concept. I think
Hmm.
like the idea of it being like a in universe like true crime like show is really cool. I think it's just like is that needed twist to like give like an uninteresting sounding project like life, I guess, to make it sound interesting and appealing. So I'm honestly really looking
Yeah,
forward to this.
for sure.
Another thing that was announced yesterday, DC related, is a V for Vendetta show. I don't know if that's gonna tie
Mm-hmm.
in to the DCU or whatever, but it is produced by James Gunn and Peter Safran as well. That's kind of it for the DC stuff. And then I'm just gonna kind of spitfire a few like casting and movie announcements, and then we can discuss from there. First thing is that Warner Bros. Confirmed that Gremlins 3 will be releasing in 2027 with Chris Columbus writing slash directing and Spielberg executive producing. Netflix and Sony
Really?
have, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wait,
I
that's actually
believe
really
it
cool.
was.
I mean, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but it's weird. It's weird not having Joe Dante because he's like the director for of the first two Gremlins, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a very like cartoony, weird, just kind of out there director. Which is why he made the Gremlins along with Steven Spielberg. Um, I think Chris Columbus
I think he's a
doing
great
the third
choice.
one. That yeah, he if there's anyone who I think could do it, it would be him, just because like he has that kind of like also, I guess I want to say childlike imagination or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
he also wrote the script for the original movies. Like he's a
oh
writer on
really?
those.
Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I see. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, it'll be lit. I'm sure it'll
Yeah,
be cool.
it's set
Yeah,
for
go
November
ahead.
19th, 2027.
Bet. All
As
right,
of right
cool.
now, yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
excited. That's cool.
So yeah, um, Netflix and Sony confirmed that K-pop Demon Hunters 2 is in the works, set to debut in 2029. I mentioned last week or maybe 2 weeks ago that I thought it'd be possible that maybe they would. have K-pop Demon Hunters 2 be a theater exclusive release, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's confirmed to be dropping on Netflix. It's definitely gonna have a theatrical run at some point,
Mm-hmm.
but it's gonna be dropping on. It's gonna be their main release is gonna be on Netflix.
They might do like a day and day thing. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, what they're doing with
Yeah,
Stranger Things essentially.
or maybe some like early preview, like it'll be like how they had with Frankenstein, like it was playing for like 2 weeks before
Yeah.
it dropped on Netflix or whatever it is. But
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely gonna be really successful whenever that drops in 2029.
2029
Another
is
thing,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. Another thing, Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone are developing a Miss Piggy movie at Disney. Um, don't know what that's going to entail. Don't know if it's going to tie in with what Muppet movies or whatever. But a Miss Piggy movie is in development with Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone. I think those are two really good creatives to attach to that project. I think those are really
For
Miss Piggy
sure.
coded people, and so I think it's pretty cool that they got those people involved.
Absolutely. I hope it's not just like another like Disney Plus dump or whatever. Um,
Yeah, I
in the sense
don't
that like
know
they
if
just
it's
kind of put.
theatrical or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, even if it does like just go on Disney Plus, I mean, like a lot of the stuff that they've been doing with the Muppets lately, they've just been kind of like dumping it on there and like not really promoting it, not really giving a fuck about what it does. Um, like the, for example, like the Haunted Mansion special or whatever, and also,
To be fair, those were
um,
bad. Those were not good. So maybe
I
they
okay,
just knew the.
I have not seen the Haunted Mansion special, and I did
I
not care
have,
for
I
Electric
have.
Mayhem.
It was bad. I didn't watch Electric
It
Mayhem
was
either,
bad.
but the Haunted Mansion one, yeah, I didn't like that one.
The only I guess like recent Muppets Disney Plus thing I've seen is and I saw this years ago when it came out, was the Muppets Now, I think it was called.
Oh, that one was bad.
Um
I didn't like that one either.
yeah, that
I
was
stopped
bad.
watching
I
a few
didn't like that at
episodes in.
all.
Yeah,
Same,
it
same.
seems like Disney might be locking in though with the Muppets franchise because they have the Seth Rogen, Sabrina Carpenter
Oh,
project
true.
of all the Muppets
Mhm.
coming out, and then they have this Miss Piggy movie, and I don't know. I'm curious to see where they're gonna take this franchise, just because I always thought that the Muppets is such a gold mine of content,
Absolutely.
and so much possibility, and they're just such great characters. And I think now's like the perfect time to like kind of reintroduce them into the mainstream. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, because I miss them. I love them. What can I say?
Yeah, no, for sure. And like you said, I do think if there are any two people to like treat I guess Miss Piggy with the seriousness and reverence that she deserves, it would be Emma Stone and Jennifer Lawrence. Like they know what they're doing, especially with like a
Yeah,
half serious, half comedic thing like this.
yeah. Um, another announcement of another big franchise that's going to be coming back is that Brendan Fraser and his co-star Rachel Weisz are going to be reuniting for a fourth Mummy film, directed by the Radio Silence duo, which are the people behind the Abigail film and then Scream 5 and 6. I haven't really seen any of the Mummy movies, like the Brendan Fraser ones, but I've heard that they're great. My
Yeah.
only interaction with that franchise is like the ride at Universal, which
Hmm.
I love. It's my favorite ride
Yeah.
there. So I would definitely catch up on the movies and watch this one. I like the directors. I love Brendan Fraser. Um, I think that was just a cool announcement that that's happening.
For sure. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them either, but I'm willing to give it a shot. It's kind of weird. I don't really fuck with like desert movies like that. I always think they're kind of boring. I don't know if
Specifically
that
with war movies.
like
I don't
desert
really
and
like
snow
war
movies.
Yeah, I
Huh?
get that. I said like war movies. Like I don't really fuck with war movies.
I get that. Yeah, no, low key same.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I'm willing to give it a shot. Why not? The Mummy's a cool. It's there's a reason it's a franchise, you know.
yeah,
And I also do like the
and,
ride at Universal.
yeah. Um, I just like seeing Brendan Fraser get work. I really like Brendan Fraser. The
For
last
sure.
thing that I'm gonna mention for movie news this week is the official trailer for Super Mario Galaxy is gonna be dropping on Wednesday, November 12th, which is the day that this episode's gonna be released. So, um, hopefully we'll talk about it on the next episode if it's worthy of our discussion.
Hmm.
Yeah. Are you excited for
Yeah,
that
no,
movie at all?
I know they're, oh, for sure, man. Like, I mean, like I like the Mario movie as much as I don't remember how old I was, as much as like a teenager could have enjoyed the Mario movie when it came
Yeah, I
out.
think you were. I think I was a junior, so you're probably a senior.
Something like that. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I really I liked it. I didn't. I didn't think it was anything like too crazy. It was very much a movie made for babies. But regardless of that, I still got enjoyment of that. So I guess I'm a big baby. Um, and yeah, no, I'm just excited to see what else they do. What else they do, especially with like Mario Galaxy, dog. Like,
Yeah,
um,
it's one of my favorite Mario games. I never played it, but I watched like gameplay of it, and I just love the
mhm.
aesthetic of it and the vibe. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie of it.
I don't know if they're gonna do it like proper justice in terms of like a story, because like that's really what I'm looking for with these movies is like I also get that that's the main reason why like the first Mario movie did so well is because like the story was just kind of plain. It was just like straightforward, whatever. Let's
It
not
was
get too
very
bogged down about
simple,
it.
and it worked. It's like if you ask
Yeah,
ChatGPT to write you a Mario movie plot, that's what they would spit out. Is
exactly.
like what we got, but it did the job. So I guess.
Exactly. And like I know yeah, it did the job. But I know that the story of like Mario Galaxy, because I also grew up playing the games, and well, I know you said you didn't, but I grew up playing the games, and I'm like a fan of them. The story of Mario
Hmm.
Galaxy is a little bit more like complex in terms of like Rosalina and her parents, and just like kind of Mario is honestly kind of a side character to like the overarching plot of Mario
Hmm.
Galaxy in Mario Galaxy 2. um so yeah, I don't know. I guess I am just excited to like go back into like the animated world of the Mushroom Kingdom, because I did really like that, like the world building around it, and how they do it, like how they go into space, and also introducing Yoshi. Because I don't know if you saw, but like they leaked character designs for Yoshi through
No, I didn't
cookie
see that.
boxes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know who exactly, but they're making like the Pillsbury dough cookies for the Mario
Hmm.
movie, and then on the box art was leaked, and on the box they have like the Yoshi designs and Mario riding on
That's
Yoshi
cool.
in
That's
space, and
really
like they also have
cool.
a bunch of like different locations on the box, and so like yeah, I mean I like it. I think it looks cool. I just there's so many ways for this movie to like do something boring. You know what I mean? Like hire
Hmm.
a celebrity voice actor for Yoshi when like that's not kind of like the vibe. Um,
Well, they haven't
or at least
confirmed the
that's not what I
voiceover
would
for his
want.
voice yet. They haven't
Well,
confirmed
I know, but I'm just saying
so.
that's what I mean. Like that's what I mean. Like there's so many ways for this movie kind of to just like pick the most boring option, and that's what I really don't want. I guess we'll have to see tomorrow. Um, at the time of recording, we'll have to see tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic about it.
Hmm.
I
Nice.
think it'll be fine overall, though. I think I'll still
Very cool.
be like, yeah, that was definitely a Mario Galaxy movie. I enjoyed it. Whatever.
I'm sure it'll be just fine. I don't
Yeah,
think it'll be bad.
nothing crazy. No, for sure not.
Yeah. So that brings us to the end of what's poppin' and into what we watched. I'll get us started off this week by telling you guys a cool little tidbit of information. I this week was on a hunt of buying a VHS player and a CRT TV because I was trying to do like an old school movie setup in my living room, and I was successful. And on doing so, I bought a few VHS movies. One of those included Fight Club, and so I gave that a rewatch this week on my old school VHS player on the old TV, and yeah, it's a great movie. Um, I think the main takeaway I had from watching it is just a reminder of how good like Brad Pitt like actually is. Because I guess sometimes I just forget that he's really like him. Like he's the goat, one of the goats. He's
For sure,
so
man.
charismatic and easy to watch. Um, and he really I mean, Edward Norton is great, and the movie's great, but he just really carries that movie, in my opinion, with his charisma and his just nonchalant attitude.
Mm-hmm.
It was my second time watching the movie ever, and it was pretty good. It was a little longer than I remembered, but maybe that's just because I was pretty tired when I watched it. But yeah, I had a great time, and watching it the biblically accurate way on the VHS player was really really awesome. Just because the movie's already kind of grimy and dirty and whatever, so it fit the aesthetic of the TV.
Yeah,
What about you,
absolutely.
Nick? What's something that you watched?
Uh, I watched this Mexican animated stop motion animated movie called Soy Frankelda. It was actually really cool, especially because after the movie, the directors were there and they did like a little Q&A about like, just the movie obviously and just the process of it. But yeah, the movie itself it was pretty cool. A lot of weird character designs. I don't know how they animate. They must have genuinely. Oh my god, they must have broken their backs just animating some of these like little segments and like character bits. I don't. I really honestly don't know how they did it. Um, but they did it, and it looks great. Um, yeah, I don't know. If you have like children, or if you're just like really into like mythical stories of like monsters and nightmares, it is a children's kind of movie at the end of the day. Um, but
Hmm.
regardless, I still had a lot of fun with it. If you just appreciate art as like the medium and like the process of it and like what it comes out to, I think you would enjoy this film. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's
Nice.
that's 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 what I thought of that.
Very cool.
What about you?
What was
Did
the
you
film
watch
called?
anything else? It's called Soy
So,
Frankelda.
yeah, I did.
Yeah, and it's the first
Okay,
ever.
so I friend killed. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's the first ever stop motion Mexican animated movie. They're currently
Very
trying to
cool.
find releasing for it. It's not on anything, unfortunately. I watched it like
Mm,
on a screening that the directors were doing. But it's not on
yeah.
anything. But the movie itself is based on like an HBO Max show called by the same name, like Frankelda, some like the scary stories of Frankelda. Um, and
Uh
it's
huh.
like this like one season show that the directors also did, where like it's just a bunch of like scary stories for kids, and then like after they did that season, they were like, damn, like we want to tell the story like properly of these characters and like why they are and who they are and whatnot. So they decided to make the movie. And I didn't know anything about the
Hmm.
show before watching it, so you don't obviously have to know anything about that. But it's like if you are interested, you could give the show a little watch, and then hopefully by that time, it'll be a release on something here in America.
Very cool. Very very cool.
For sure.
Another thing that I wanted to mention this week that I watched was this film. It was a new release last weekend. It's called Anniversary. It's like a political thriller, I guess is the way I would describe it, starring Kyle Chandler, Dylan O'Brien, um, McKenna Grace is in it, and a few other actors that I don't really know their names. The movie was not too great. It was kind of about this family who is like very um, respected. Like the mother's a teacher at Yale or one of those prestigious universities. Maybe it was Princeton. I don't remember off the top of my head. But essentially, she has a son who starts dating this old student of the mother, and essentially this student had like radical beliefs and ideologies, and basically turns the son, and then eventually she releases a book which turns the rest of the country, and it just kind of shows the fallout in the family and whatever. um, it was all right. It was nothing special, and I think my biggest problem with movies like this is when they're not specific at all. They're trying to make a point without making a point.
Mm-hmm.
Movies like Civil War do the same
Mm.
thing, where they tell you there's a big conflict that's separating the people, but they're not really telling you what. They're not really giving you any context, and it's just kind of like not saying anything, which is something I really like have a problem with because it just makes it the experience of watching kind of boring. Um, because I don't know, they're not really taking a stand on anything, and so they're showing that it's like these big radical beliefs or whatever, and people are turning, but they're not really fully explaining what, and so that whole aspect of it didn't really work with for me. Other than
Mm-hmm.
that, the performances are pretty good. Um, the main takeaway I had is that Dylan O'Brien, known mostly from the Maze Runner movies and also from Twinless earlier this year, he's phenomenal. I really, really like him. He's really growing on me as an actor, and I'm really excited to see where he's gonna go. He was easily the standout of the movie.
I know you described like the plot a little bit. Well, like what's like the I guess the main perspective or like hook or like what's the main thing that happens during the movie? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the main thing is showing how this like old student, how this girl is like kind of infiltrating the family and corrupting the people around, and then I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it's just about
For
the
sure, for sure.
corruption of a family and like the fallout of a family.
Okay, okay. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, it's
I
all
mean,
right.
it
It's
sounds
something
somewhat
special.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it was a Lionsgate movie. I don't remember what studio.
Mm,
It wasn't anything special. If it ever comes out on streaming, I would say it's worth an evening, but I
mm-hmm.
wouldn't say it's worth going to the theater right now, especially with so much coming out soon, and so much in
For
the
sure.
marketplace right now. Yeah. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about this week?
Yeah, so I watched the new Vince Gilligan show Pluribus. The first
I
episode,
think so.
an
Yeah,
episode and a
yeah, yeah.
half of it.
Pluribus. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Pluribus. It released 2 episodes. I've only seen an episode and a half. Not for any reason in particular. It was just really late, and I fell asleep on the last half. But it was okay to pretty good. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Vince Gilligan, with his shows, you kind of like have to like settle into them. You kind of have to get the wait for the ball to get rolling, and and that's kind of where I'm at with it. The pilot was great. It was very suspenseful. It was very tense. To give a brief description, as I'm sure most people have on the internet have heard, like Rhea Seehorn, the main actress, is the most miserable person on earth, supposedly, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give too much because like it's kind of everyone just becomes happy. Everyone becomes part of a collective. Everyone on Earth, I mean, becomes part of a collective, a one consciousness, and Rhea Seehorn is left out of it. So the whole show, at least from my understanding of what we've seen so far, the whole show is like the collective trying to get Rhea Seehorn to join, and her fighting against that. I I thought it was okay. I thought it was a pretty okay pilot, and from what I've seen, second episode, I feel like I really need something more than just Rhea Seahorn and the collective consciousness as like two
Mm-hmm.
separate characters. I'm waiting for more than just that. Uh, I don't really know how they're gonna extend this sort of plot into a multi-season show because it seems quite simple, at least to my understanding. But like I said, I'm not the guy who made Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. You know what I mean? I'm not the guy who
Yeah,
wrote those.
that is
So
that is true. That is true.
so my limited perspective on whatever concept this is will have no bearing on whatever it ends up being. And I'm excited. At the end of the day, I am very excited to see where this keeps going. I am very much hooked. And I'm very happy that we live in a world again where we can expect this sort of TV every week or at least on a normal basis. I'm just excited to live in that world again, and I'm excited and I'm also excited that it's very different from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. That's why I'm also like apprehensive, but also giving him the credit because it's something
Mm-hmm.
that is never done or he hasn't done before. It's not a western or anything like that. It's very much sci-fi. Um, it's a very different, unique concept from everything else, and yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm more interested in an artist doing something completely different from what they're familiar with than just continuing the same thing over and over and over again. So even if it turns out like subpar or not as great as the other things that he's done, like I'm still more interested in seeing that than anything else.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Everyone should watch it.
Yeah, I
It's
definitely
great.
want to check it
It's shot
out.
beautifully.
Yeah, because I know Vince Gilligan is behind some of the best shows of all time: Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, X Files, all these iconic shows that
Mm-hmm.
people talk so well about. So there's obviously something there, and I definitely intend to get to it at some point. Hopefully sooner rather than later, and hopefully we can discuss it by the end of the season.
For sure.
Yeah. I have one last thing I guess I want to mention for what we watched, or I guess it's two things. I watched Terrifier 2 and 3 this
Oh,
past
okay.
weekend, and I'm just going to quickly mention them. They were pretty good. You have to be into the concept you understand what you're watching. It's not really movies; they're just compilations of really cool practical effects of kills. And so if you're into that, definitely check these out. The 2 and 3 are much more of movies compared to the first one, which was really no story, just kill, kill, kill. This one, at least, they introduce a main character. They're starting to do some lore, especially in the third one. They dive into it, and I know in the fourth one, all shall be revealed. But yeah, I had a fun time. Somehow they keep upping themselves in these movies. It gets worse and worse, like with kill wise, and just how graphic and how just disgusting Art the Clown gets. Um, but am I crazy to say I'm excited to see what they're cooking for the fourth one, which I'm excited to see in
Really?
theaters because I saw these at home. Yeah, I mean, listen, they were pretty cool. The third one's
Hmm.
was my favorite one so far. I really really enjoyed the Christmas aesthetic on that third one. Um, and yeah, David Howard Thornton, the actor behind Art, is just so magnetic on screen that like my eyes just can't leave the screen whenever he's on there. He's just so good as Art the Clown. He just demands to be watched. So yeah, I would definitely. I wouldn't even say you have to see the first one to watch these two.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, you can. There's some elements, but mostly 2 and 3 are more of a complete, more of a correlated story. And yeah,
How long
I
are
had a
these
great time.
movies?
So okay, the first one is like an hour and 26 minutes, right? So super
Okay.
short, to the point, whatever. And then he decided that like he's gonna up the length so much for these two. The second one is like 2 hours and 20 minutes,
Are
and
you
then the
fucking
third one
kidding?
is like 2 hours and like 10 minutes. Like it's pointlessly long, and it's so funny.
Do you
And it's
like
just
feel it while you're watching it though? Or are you like, oh my god, can this thing get over?
bro, low key nah, because it's like every scene I'm like I'm
Really?
like, oh my god, what the fuck am I watching? Like there was this one, and it's like, have you ever heard people mention the iconic like bed scene or the bedroom scene from
I've
Terrifier 2?
I've heard people mention it, but I don't know anything about what goes
Dude,
on in it or anything
I
like
mean,
that.
that one is just truly, truly sadistic. I mean, it's
And
truly
that's in the
terrible.
third one?
No, that's in the second one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, there's this one thing that my only complaint about these movies is that the characters are alive way farther than they should be. Like they should be dead so much before than they actually die. So like their torture
Hmm.
is just drawn out, and Art is
Oh my
just
god.
doing like putting salt in their wounds and pouring acid on them, cutting them up, and they're just screaming in pain, gushing blood, barely breathing, and it's really hard to watch. It's really
Bro,
really hard to watch.
this sounds like my 12-year-old self when I was watching Live Leak's Dream, bro. Like
Bro, literally.
like
I
this is
mean,
genuinely
it's
insane.
sadistic because like Art is just having so much fun as he does it, as he does these heinous things. It's like
Yeah,
comedic. And, like it's you shouldn't be laughing at it, but you do. It's great. I like
I'm
it a
sure.
lot.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I mean, yeah,
Do you have
I'm
anything
like
else?
low key curious. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just keep going. Forget it.
No, I was just gonna. I'm like low key curious because yeah, I do hear people talk about him, talk about these movies, and also talking about Art the Clown as like a modern horror icon or whatever. And I
He
see
is
it like
100%.
he has like a unique design as to like everything and like a unique personality from like other I guess monsters or whatever or
Hmm.
horror icons. I don't know. I'm willing to watch it at some point. Maybe I'll watch the third one for the Christmas spirit. You know what I mean?
I
Maybe
would
I'll
definitely
bring the
say
whole
watch the
family
second
around.
one before. Definitely watch the second one before the third one.
All right. I
Definitely,
mean, I think if I
just
do
jump in.
realistically watch it, like I'll watch all three just for the sake of like to get the full
Yeah,
idea of it. But I think for the third
they're
one,
fun
I
to
might.
watch. Say what you want about them. They're fun to
Hmm.
watch. They're
For sure, for sure. I think for the third one, I might bring the whole family around. You said it was a Christmas special, so like I'll just seat them
yeah,
around. We're
it
all gonna watch
is.
this beautiful film.
It is.
But yeah, no, for
Last
sure.
thing I want to
I'll
mention
give it a
about Art
watch.
the Clown is that he's not
Hmm.
above like he has his super drawn out, like I said, like that bedroom scene for example, the super drawn out sadistic kills,
Hmm.
but he's also not above like just using a pistol to the head. So he's just so fucking
Oh wow.
unpredictable, and so
Hmm.
he's fun to watch, like I said.
He sounds like. I mean, I know he's literally a clown, but he sounds like the Joker. You know, it's like kind of giving that vibe.
Kinda ish, but he's also like a mime. He doesn't like speak or anything. He like mimes out
I
his
see. I
stuff.
see.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's just cool. Yeah, it's a fun performance.
All right.
Um,
Cool.
so do you have anything else that you want to talk about for what we watched before we move into the main feature, or no?
No, I'm all. That's all on my book.
All right. So with that being said, let's move into the main feature. This week we'll be reviewing Predator Badlands. Let me start with a quick spoiler-free summary. Cast out from its clan, an alien hunter and an unlikely ally embark on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary. Nick, what did you think of Predator Badlands?
I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. I love when a story or when a movie can like transport me to a completely different world and like and explain it, not just like not explain it in like a oh this does this and that does that, but like visually show me like all the different intricacies of it, whether it be in the plants or in the animals or like how they operate and how they interact with the main character. I really love that, and I love the fact that this movie did that. I also thought it was really bold and interesting to have the main character like one not be human, two not speak English. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I was always just like curious to see like what this non-human character does in these like really precarious situations, especially given the story that they give this person. And
Mm-hmm.
I know the story of the movie is a little basic. You know, it's nothing like too crazy. It's nothing we haven't seen before. Um, but I think if a story is like simple, it doesn't really matter as long as the dressing around the story is unique and something I have not seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And also if the story like actually holds bearing on like emotional bearing on the main character. I think I those are really the two things that I'm looking for, and I feel this movie did that pretty well. I do think it did go on a little bit too long. There were a lot of moments where I was like, oh shit, it's gonna end now, and then it doesn't. It just keeps going. um but I do feel, and I said this on my letterbox review, I feel like this is the first time in a while where I've really felt like the story has been finished. Like there is I guess sequel bait, and I'm excited to see where this movie goes further. But everything that the movie introduces at the beginning is properly tied up by the end of it, and I can't really say that for a lot of modern movies these days. So I'm glad that it was like that. And yeah, I
Nice.
just really liked it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I
Mm-hmm.
liked it a decent amount as well. I think it was really good. Um, I think I just want to mention. I think it's really funny how Disney is like treating their 20th Century Fox properties with so much care, like Alien and Predator, and what's another one? Like the Apes movie was really good. Like I
Mm.
feel like out of like the Fox acquisition, these movies have been doing the best as compared to like the repercussions on like the Marvel universe or whatever. And so I just wanted to say that I think Disney's doing a great job with that. But onto the movie itself, I really liked it. When I found out it was gonna be PG-13, I was a little worried that they were gonna like not dumb down. What's the word?
Babyfy
I
it.
guess yeah, like
Disneyfy it.
babyfy it, like make it childish, remove the violence.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they were able to go around it just because the things fighting were robots and like alien creatures, right?
Yeah.
So the blood wasn't real, so they can really go all out and still have it be PG-13, which I think is really cool. Um, yeah, I think the action sequences were really good. I think Elle Fanning was fantastic in the movie. I actually really liked our protagonist of Deck,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't think I would just because it's kind of hard to attach yourself to a protagonist that you don't really understand or don't really feel for.
Mm-hmm.
And then they really got us to feel for this character and to like care for his aspirations and see why he's doing matters to him. Um, and yeah, I thought he looked really good. I thought the movie looked good a lot of the time. I don't think there was really any bad CGI or anything. And I wouldn't say it was too long. I don't know. I think it really worked for me, like the time wise.
Hmm.
Um, One thing I really got out of this is that this Dan Trachtenberg clearly knows what he's doing with the Predator
Oh,
franchise
absolutely.
after watching Prey and
Hmm.
Killers of Killers earlier this year. He clearly knows what he's doing, and I would love to see him work on a Star Wars movie. I am dying to see his take on Star Wars. I think he can really do something special. Just the way he shot this planet and the otherworldly nature of it, it really gave me Star Wars vibes, and it really showed me that he's the person who should be working on something next for that franchise.
For sure. I think it would make a great Star Wars movie. It'd be everything everyone's ever asked for. But just give me weird shit. Give me weird concepts. Give me. I think I mean that's at least what I'm asking for a Star Wars
Yeah, it's like
movie.
super sci-fi, but it's super awesome as well. It just works
Yeah.
really. It was really cool.
And
I
he
liked.
makes it make sense. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but he
Yeah,
makes everything like make sense.
yeah, definitely the way it's shot, everything works. Everything
Mm-hmm.
like I, as someone who doesn't really have much experience with the Predator franchise, I've
Mm-hmm.
only seen the newer stuff. I've seen Prey and I've seen Killer of Killers.
I've seen
Um,
nothing, by the way. This is the
okay,
first Predator movie I've actually like ever seen. I'm aware of like the character and everything like that, but this is the first thing I've seen in full.
yeah, this is the first one I've seen in theaters, and it was a great time. I really really enjoyed it.
For sure, yeah. Me too.
Are you ready to move into spoilers?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Everyone should go watch it.
Um, yeah. So, what did you think of the twist of Elle Fanning actually using um, the Predator? Of actually
Oh,
doing it?
I thought it was pretty cool, honestly, and I thought it made sense. I like the way that they foreshadowed it with Tessa's like
Mm-hmm.
whole thing. Um yeah, I don't know. I do like the way that they went about that because it does make sense. She is still a robot at the end of the day, and she has a prime directive. Um, I also do like the way that she works around that by the end of it, or like she. The one thing I will say about the movie that kind of got me questioning it a little bit is the morality of it. More specifically, when Elle Fanning is like just killing all of the other robots in that like escape scene,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is. Um, yeah, I was just thinking like because the movie is such like the morality of these characters and what they do and how they act is so in question throughout the whole film. It just makes me think like, oh, she's just like really killing all of these robots so brazenly. And I guess it doesn't matter because they can just be repaired. But for someone who's like for her character to be so like caring of like all the little creatures and all the little things and everything like that, for her to just like go around and like brazenly just like kill all her quote unquote comrades, uh, was just kind of a weird shift, I guess, and like
Mm-hmm.
which it makes sense, you know. Like I'm not. It just felt weird in the moment. It just felt weird in the moment to see this like weird character just like not really care about, um, I guess mechanical life, if there's no other way to put it. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that one bit, which could be easily glossed over, like I really just thought like everything about that. It was just like so neat. It was so nicely
Yeah.
packaged. Um, and yeah, it felt full. And like I said, like I'm excited what they to see what they do with like hopefully the next movie. Because I've also heard that it's the first time that they've ever introduced female predators. So whatever they could do with that, very interested, very curious to see what goes on there.
Yeah. My biggest complaint with the movie, I would say, is the sister character. Um,
Tessa, I could see that. Yeah.
yeah, I would say she could have been fleshed out just a little bit better. Maybe flesh out
Hmm.
the relationship. Um, but other than that's really my only kind of complaint. I really like the trajectory that this franchise is going.
Hmm.
Um, and man, I have to say that I think we're heading towards a Predator versus Alien movie.
Oh,
This is essentially an
absolutely.
alien. I mean, this movie was an alien crossover, right? Because the
Mm-hmm.
Wayland Yutani group, that's like the alien corporation with the synths and
Yeah.
all that. So, I mean, between this and Alien Earth and the Alien Romulus sequel, I think it's all on a trajectory path to get another Alien versus Predator movie, which up until this point was the most successful Predator film, Alien versus Predator, it was also PG-13, by the way, when that released. Up until this
Mm.
point, that was the most successful, the biggest opening, and this one already passed the opening, and it's on track to pass the overall box office. So
Sorry, what did you say was also PG-13?
the Alien versus Predator.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they even made Trachtenberg, direct the Alien vs
Yeah,
Predator
he
movie.
should.
That'd be
He should.
absolutely he should. They're 100% going for that. He also said that this movie, was the furthest in the future that these
Yeah,
two
of the
franchises have ever
timeline.
been into. Yeah, of the timeline.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm just interested to see like where else it goes. Like, what else could you do with these two franchises that have already like had a lot of history behind them? Well, maybe not Predator, not as much, but at least Alien. I very much am a big fan of the Alien franchise. I think it's super cool. I always love the design. I think they're creepy as fuck, and I've been hooked on Predator as a character at least, or as a fight thing. I might go ahead and watch Killer of Killers and Prey, or and maybe even the first one. Who knows?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think an Alien versus Predator movie is definitely in the works. Like there's I
It
have no
has to
question
be.
about it.
And honestly, I really do hope it's with this cast of characters. I really like this group of people. I like
Mm-hmm.
Elle Fanning's character a lot. I like the baby, what was it, Calypsoid?
Kalisk.
The baby Callus, Bud. Thought
Mm-hmm.
he was great. Thought he was adorable. I love Deck. I think I don't know how they got me to really actually care for a predator,
Mm-hmm.
um, but they did.
Bro, that opening scene was like
It was
tragic. Like
great.
I
It was
it
great.
genuinely it
Such a
almost
good
made me
way to get you
cry.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, like genuinely,
I
like I was very surprised as to how much like acting. I want to say his name just because like his face is covered through the whole thing. But honestly, wait, give me 1 second.
so much like emotion was showed, and it was so well presented.
Um, honestly, give oh my god, give Demetrius Schuster. I want to say his name right. Demetrius Schuster Koloam Antangi. Give him like an Oscar nom, genuinely. I don't know if he should win it, but I do think like it is impressive to show that much like emotion, both physically and facially, while being not yourself, while being completely covered. Um, I'm very impressed. I give him and the artists that work around because I believe that there was no face prosthetics, at least for the majority of the movie. I believe that the majority of it
Ah,
was they just CGI'd his face
dang.
over his face, and then like the rest of his body was prosthetic. So yeah, I just having all of that like emotion and just like in that one main character is was incredible to me. It was insane. I do believe he deserves some sort of higher prestige recognition.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Um, yeah, it was a great time at the movies. It was um, entertaining. It was well made, and it left me wanting more. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, what more could you really ask for?
That's exactly what I mean. Like it's all you want in a movie. It covers the balance. It covers the emotional side. It covers the fun side. Um, it's low key like genuinely kind of a good family movie. And I know people were like really dogging on this movie for that, just because it is PG-13. People are saying like, oh, at least Predator fans like, oh, it's been Disney-fied, this, that, and the other. But like you said earlier, it continued being brutal. It's what I expected from a Predator movie, which is like
Yeah, for
brutality.
sure. They didn't numb down the violence. It was just they were able to show it because of the context of what the violence was happening in, and so I think that was really cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. I'm very happy about it. Yeah, for sure. Great time at the movies, like you said.
Yeah. Awesome. So if we don't have anything else to say, that would bring us to the end of episode 13 of Popcorn Problems. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP. We'll be back next week breaking down the new Glenn Powell, Edgar Wright film, The Running Man. In the meantime, hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of Predator Badlands. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. Before I say see you next time, while saying this exit, I just realized something. The Running Man and Predator both originally star Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so back to back, we're going to be doing Arnold Schwarzenegger reboot, remake esque films. So
We should
yeah, pretty cool.
we should see if we should watch the original ones and then give a review of both of them before Running Man next week, maybe.
That would be fun. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Awesome. So yeah, see you next time, guys. Peace.
Have a good one.